Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining the Week 12 Southland Conference Football Coaches Conference call with the media. We hope that you find this useful in your coverage of your team or opponent and the Southland Conference as well. I want to go over a few guidelines for today's call. We do restrict the call to official news gathering media members only. The general public, including fans and fan websites, is prohibited from participating during the live call. We ask that you do not place the call on hold or use the speakerphone function at any time while on the call today. We have muted all lines. To unmute your line, you may press *6 at any time, but we do ask that once you're done asking a question, you press *6 again to mute your line. Media, prior to asking a question, we would ask that you identify yourself by name and media organization. We would also ask that you be mindful of others while on the call and limit follow-up questions to give everyone on the call an opportunity to ask a question during each coach's window of availability. Any violation of these guidelines may lead to immediate disconnection from the call. Again, welcome to the Southland Conference Week 12 Football Coaches Conference call. It's the last regularly scheduled call of the season. It's the final week of the regular season. Playoff announcements will be made on Sunday on ESPNU live at 12:30 Central Time. That's ESPNU for the selection show for the NCAA Division I Football Championship. Again, everyone will be trying to join the Southland Conference office here in Frisco on January the 5th. The league is the host of the NCAA Division I Football Championship game. Again, that game again is Saturday, January the 5th at noon, coverage on ESPN2. Obviously, a lot of football to be played, including this week. We have 5 games on the schedule, beginning on Thursday with the River Bell Classic between Southeastern Louisiana at Nicholls State, again Thursday at 6 p.m. 4 games on Saturday, starting with a non-conference game between Sam Houston State at Texas A&M. That game is on Fox Sports Net via pay-per-view at 2:30, followed by the Southland Conference Television Network game between Northwestern State and Stephen F. Austin at 3 p.m. Following that game, Eastern Illinois is at Central Arkansas at 5, and Lamar is at McNeese State at 7. So everyone's in action, 3 league games and 2 non-conference games here in Week 12. I want to go over, briefly mention again the Southland Conference Television Network game. That's the Toyota Game of the Week between Northwestern State and Stephen F. Austin at 3 o'clock. In the polls, the FCS Top 25 polls and the Sports Network poll, Sam Houston State is number 3, Central Arkansas is number 10. McNeese State is receiving votes in that poll. In the coaches poll, same rankings for Sam Houston State and Central Arkansas. The Bearcats are number 3 and the Bears are number 10. Southeastern Louisiana is receiving votes in the coaches poll. Last week's Players of the Week, a clean sweep by Southeastern Louisiana. On offense, Xavier Roberson. He's recorded his first 100-yard rushing game with 21 carries for 117 yards and 2 touchdowns in the Lions' 42-27 win over Stephen F. Austin. He also returned a kickoff 96 yards for a touchdown. The Defensive Player of the Week, Tyler Stoddard from Southeastern. He recorded a team-high 10 tackles against SFA and was part of a defensive effort that limited SFA to 168 total yards and 5 first downs in the second half. Special Teams Player of the Week, Bo Mott from Southeastern. He averaged 45.2 yards per punt on 5 attempts in the win over SFA. He converted on a fake punt for the second time this season with a 21-yard pass to Tyler Stoddard and teamed with long snapper Rogers Mueller on a successful 2-point conversion in the third quarter that gave the Lion an 8-point cushion in the game. All right, with that behind us, we'll move on to the coaches portion of the call today. Coach Stubbs, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
All right, joined now by Charlie Stubbs, the head coach at Nicholls State. Last week, the Colonels lost to Lamar 34-24, and this week the Colonels play host to Southeastern in the River Bell Classic Thursday at 6 p.m. Coach, talk a little bit about the game last week against Lamar and then what you're expecting from the Lions this Thursday.
Well, it was a very competitive game versus Lamar. The biggest thing there is that they made a few more plays than we did. We can't at times get out of our own way. We moved the ball pretty well and got in scoring territory, and then the turnover bug took over, which we're trying to shake. And, again, it's something that you can't have to win football games. And then on our defense, we were able to force Lamar into numerous, I think it was 15 third down situations, but they converted, credit to them, a high percentage. And so that's what you want to do, defense, is to put them into those third and longs. But, again, they made the plays. We have some things to build on, of course. I thought we ran the football a lot more effective. Marcus Washington rushed for over 100 yards, which was good to see. And then I thought that we are absolutely trying to work on a mindset here, that absolutely we're not quitting. Testament of that is that we were able to, at the very last drive, we drove the ball in a 2-minute offense situation, 75 yards, resulting in a score. And then we went for an onside kick right after that and recovered the onside kick. And I think that I have to kind of build on little things here, but when you're doing those kind of things, you know at least the mindset's there and that the guys are really trying hard to be successful. We just got things we definitely got to clean up. It seems like it's just one play in each drive, or that absolutely is catastrophic for us, but we're going to keep working and fighting. We've got a quick turnaround this week, but we're excited to play on Thursday nights. That's really good here at Nicholls because it allows our students to be more around and involved. We're always trying to get support, so I expect to have a very proud senior day for our seniors. We only have 15 of them, but they will be recognized and honored, and we appreciate them greatly. I know that we're playing a very good football team in Southeastern. They've done a very good job quickly and won a lot of conference games, and again, they're a very resilient team. They come off of a tough loss, and then they don't hang their heads. They get ready to go again, and a testament of that, they had a tough game versus Sam Houston, like most of us do, but they responded very well with a big victory versus Stephen F. So I know that they'll come in here really ready to go and try to finish their season off on a high. The difference here for us is this is our last home game, but we're still, have a December 1st big challenge against Oregon State. So, there's a lot to play for here. We're excited we get the opportunity, and we expect it to be a great, great environment.
Okay, we'll go ahead and open it up for questions for Charlie Stubbs, the head coach at Nicholls State Media. You may need to press *6 to unmute your phone line, and we do ask that you identify yourself by name and media organization prior to asking a question.
Good morning, Coach. This is John Lenz in Hammond.
Yes, how you doing, John?
I'm doing fine, Coach. Looking forward to Thursday night. Season's already over. It's hard to believe.
Yeah.
Listen, this team that you're running up against, supposedly the bottom feeder in the league in terms of being able to run the football, and they had a huge night against Stephen F. Austin. What kind of problems does that pose for you?
Well, it causes major problems because, you're sitting there and you know what Stephen F. Austin, especially when you're this far in the season, you kind of played against everybody. And I thought that they were a very sound defense, Stephen F. So when they're able to accumulate that kind of yards against them, you know that they executed real high. And I think that some of the teams, that are, especially a Nicholls team, and I'm not speaking for Southeastern, but I think a whole lot of it is confidence. And when kids make plays, they just feed off each other, and all of a sudden, guess what? They're playing at a high level, and that's what Southeastern has their guys doing. They're believing. And because we played some competitive, I looked at some of the scores and some of the teams that they beat in the conference, and the biggest difference between us and them is they make the plays in the crucial situation, and we just haven't been able to do that because we've lost some heartbreakers too, but when it's crunch time, we just haven't come through.
You've got, Jordan Piper that we've talked about, kind of our guy from this neighborhood. Southeastern has a guy that boy, he just looks a lot like him. Can you compare what you see on film from Caleb Muse from Southeastern and Jordan Piper, the ex-teammates at Ponchatoula, and talk about what Jordan going out and what he's done for you guys?
Well, they're very similar players. I think the defenses are geared towards those guys making a lot of plays, and I credit them and their linebacker. And then also Jordan's been tremendous for us. Again, he's the glue that keeps it all together for us in the way of team, and then also our defense. He plays to the last tick. I mean, the guy has got his head screwed on right. He's going to graduate in December, which I'm super proud of. But again, he will definitely, we haven't had our banquet, but he's by far our most valuable player on our football team, and he'll be sorely missed. But again, he'll be highly successful in whatever he chooses to do. But he is he's one of those guys you term, he is a real football player, and I appreciate Jordan greatly.
Yeah, I'm just struck by how similar they are physically and the way they play the game. When you're approaching, playing against Southeastern's defense, what's the nature of that challenge? I mean, obviously they give you so much to deal with.
Exactly. They're multiple. They run the odd stack, and they'll just change some things. They'll pressure from all different directions. We got our work cut out. That they got some very good defensive backs that I really feel like are very athletic back there and play the ball well. So the biggest thing we've got to do, we've shown that we can move the ball very successful, even against some of the better teams. But the biggest thing we got to do is just stay away from the turnovers. But Southeastern can create or force you into mistakes, and we got to stay away from those.
I know this has been a long season for you. You got the River Bell sitting there game at the end of the year, and I know at the end of it, even with a win, you're still 2 and whatever. But can you make your season a little more palatable Thursday night?
Yeah. Yeah, you bet. I mean, as long as you get a chance to still play, you bet. I'd love to see our last home game being a victory here, at Guidry Stadium, last conference game. There's so much to play for. Like you said, the River Bell Classic, where, so many people that live, Nichols grads may live in the Hammond area and this and that. It helps in recruiting efforts, so because we all, a lot of times, recruit a lot of similar players. So there's a whole lot to play for. We've got, on our football team, we have 90 guys returning. And so, again, a lot of them see the big picture. And so, again, we're excited about the opportunity. We're excited. We feel like we'll have a very good crowd here. And I know they'll bring people from Hammond. So that's what college football, you want to have an electric atmosphere.
Thank you, Coach.
You're welcome.
Anything else for Coach Stubbs today? All right, Coach, appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Coach Woodard, are you with us?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, joined now by Ray Woodard, the head coach at Lamar. Last week, the Cardinals beat Nichols State 34-24, and this week travel over to Lake Charles to take on McNeese State. That game is Saturday at 7 p.m. Coach, talk about your win last week over the Colonels, and then what you're expecting from the Cowboys Saturday night.
Well, the win was big, but the following day was even bigger for me. My daughter's doing well. She's able to take a few steps under her own power, and I appreciate everybody's thoughts and prayers, but it was kind of flip-flopped. That was the cake, and the win was kind of the icing on the cake. But the win was a big win for us. We all needed it, and the game was kind of a game of in thirds. I thought the first half we really had a lot of good things happen for us, and we really played well, and we got some turnovers, and we put the ball in the end zone, and the wind was a big part of the game. It was very windy, and we were up 20-3 at halftime. We hadn't had a halftime lead in a conference ball game, and that was refreshing and exciting and something that we all have been working for over a long time. But Nichols is getting the ball to start the second half. We decided to take the win. Hopefully we could continue doing things well and hopefully get a little more space between us and maybe have the game in hand going into the fourth quarter when they got to win. Didn't happen that way. To their credit, Coach Stubbs and his staff's credit, they came out, drove down, very good drive, converted on some third and fourth down, put the ball in the end zone, got a big turnover, knocked their quarterback out, and all of a sudden a 20-3 halftime lead is 20-17, and they're about to get the win for the fourth quarter. And we had a chance to kind of tank it if we wanted to. Caleb Berry came in the fourth quarter and did a great job running our offense. We went on a very good drive and scored, and then we got a big interception from our defensive lineman on a batted screen pass, and he ran it in, and we really played well in the fourth quarter. And they fought all the way through. It was a hard-fought ball game by both teams. I was very proud of the way we fought through some adversity and won the game, and very, very satisfying weekend.
Coach, looking ahead to McNeese.
We followed them all year. Their opponent was our next opponent for about 7 or 8 weeks. We've got to watch them on film, really getting ready for the next opponent more than any team. We've got to see their season as it's progressed. And they were a very good football team early, and they looked like, to me, they were really going to compete for a championship. And they've had probably as more injuries than anybody in our league. In the middle of the season, they lost a lot of players, good players, very good football players. Now, late in the year, the players that replaced them has had some games, and they're playing better. Plus, they've gotten a few players back. In the last couple of weeks, you can really see that they're playing much better than they did in the midseason when they had the rash of injuries. And they're a very good football team. Our defensive line coach is very impressed with their offensive line. I think their center's the best one in the league. They got a great return man, and the carry guy does a great job for them. And Stroud is getting better at quarterback. They've always had good running backs, and Murray's no exception. Does a good job. Defensive line-wise, little ball kid, Pat Williams and Elfison. I hope I'm saying that right. A very good defensive front, and Deontay Thompson is in the middle of the linebackers doing a great job, and their safeties, Regay and Kahi. Coach Viator, I apologize if I'm mispronouncing their names, but they're just a good football team. They've got a lot of guys back now, and I know they're going to be ready to play, and they know we're going to be ready to play, and it's going to be an exciting week of preparation. It's football weather around here finally. It's cool, and we're going to be bouncing around all week, and I'm looking forward to going to Lake Charles.
All right, we'll go ahead and open it up for questions now for Ray Woodard, the head coach at Lamar. Media, you may need to press *6 to unmute your phone line.
Hey, Coach. This is Alex Hakeem, Lake Charles.
How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Injuries and all sorts of things. It seems like your offensive personnel, you've had to shuffle a lot of things all season. Just if you could address the challenges you've had to face with sort of swapping a lot of guys in and out of the lineup, and what do you think things are going to look like this Saturday in terms of your personnel?
Well, that's just part of football. We don't ever, no coach ever wants injuries, but you know that's why you recruit and coach more than one guy at every position. You know you're going to have them. How you address them, how you handle them, a lot of times can define you. I never want to lose a player, and I don't like the fact that we have injuries, but we don't spend a lot of time dwelling on it. We try to get the next guy ready, and we try to do the best we can, and we'll see. We'll go out there today, and we'll get the injury report, and we'll see who can practice, and we'll put in a good week, and hopefully by Saturday we may get a player or two back. But really, for this type of year, we played 11 straight ball games. This will be our 12th game with no open date. We're relatively healthy for this type of year. Now, we've lost some guys early, but, we've had bumps and bruises, but we just don't sit around and complain about it a whole lot. It gives other guys a chance to play, and then we try to focus on going on and winning a ball game or going on and playing well with what we got. So that's kind of been our attitude.
And how important was it, do you think, to get a win last week, and head into a rivalry game like this with a little bit of positive momentum?
Well, it was very important for our players, because I've said this all year, and when you say it after a loss, I think sometimes as a person, too, may try to take it that I'm just trying to spin something, but I'm really not. This has been a very enjoyable group to coach. This is a hard-working group. We've had very few off-the-field problems. They show up every day on time, and they work hard, and they're a very close-knit group, and they do what we ask them to do. And we've played a lot of hard-fought games in conference play, and we've gotten close, but it hadn't showed up on the scoreboard. So for our players who've been showing up every day and doing what we asked, they needed to win. And everyone else around the program needed it as well, but I wanted it for our players more than anything else. And you're right, it does put us in a better frame of mind, and we got a little excitement in the room we hadn't had in a while, and it's going to help us. I think we'll bounce around all week, and I think we'll give a great effort Saturday, and that's all you can ask at this time of year for your team is just give it everything they got. And I think we'll go over there and give our best effort of the year.
And how excited are the guys in general, since so many guys on both teams have friends on the other side? Just a game like this, what's the pregame? I mean, do you almost have to settle guys down in the week leading up because of the personal, sort of friendly jawing going on?
Yeah, I mean, we're very close in proximity. They recruit this area hard. They got a lot of players from the Triangle on their team. A lot of our players are from the Triangle. There'll be players on both teams that played high school ball either with or against one another, and that's part of it. Personally, I look at it. The elementary and junior high school I went to right there at FK White, and that's kind of my old neighborhood, and there'll be a lot of people that I grew up with razzing me and giving me a hard time that stands wearing McNeese colors, and that's great, and it just makes for a great rivalry. And I'm excited about getting over there. We haven't been over there since the first game we brought it back. It's been 3 years since we played in Lake Charles, and I'm excited about going over there.
All right, thank you.
Anything else for Ray Woodard at Lamar? All right, Coach. Appreciate your time. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Coach Viator, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
All right. Joined now by McNeese State head coach Matt Viator. Last week, McNeese lost a non-conference game to Texas San Antonio, 31-24. And this week plays host to Lamar. That game is Saturday night at 7 o'clock. Coach, talk a little bit about the game last week and give us a preview of what you're expecting from the Cardinals on Saturday.
Well, we had a disappointing loss, I felt like, in San Antonio. But I thought we played pretty good. I thought our kids really played hard and competed hard. Unfortunately, we just, certainly had our chances, but just didn't make enough plays when it mattered to win the game. And we kind of dominated the first half. Unfortunately, we were only up 3 points. Statistically, we were, double total yards, triple first downs, the whole deal. But like I said, unfortunately, we were only up 3 points, and UTSA did a nice job of really turning the table on us in the third quarter. But like I said, all in all, disappointing loss, but I really thought we did some good things. And heading into this week, this is going to be a tough week for us. We know that. I think Coach Woodard's done a fantastic job of getting his players, ready to play, and they seem to love to play McNeese. And both games we've played have been very, very competitive. Last year, the score got a little lopsided at the end, but it was no way even close to indicative how close the game was and how competitive the game was. And I look for the same thing this week. I've been really impressed with what they're doing defensively. I'm just, I'm really, I don't know what the word is, but, just in awe of their length, I guess, and, and how long they are and how athletic they are on defense this year. And look at them on tape, and then you look at the heights and weights. I mean, it's amazing how, the most probably I've seen in the league, the most 6'4", 6'5", guys. I mean, 2 6'3" safeties, 2 6'5" outside linebackers, on the end of the odd front, and they're doing a fantastic job of rallying to the football, and I really like what they're doing this year defensively, and I really like their 2 linebackers. Probably I guess the shorter of the 2 of the players up front, but number 10, Lingingo, however you say it, in Washington, I think 54 are playing fantastic football. Offensively, I think they're running the football a lot better this year, and you can see that. And I thought both quarterbacks played good last week, so it's one of those situations where one of them goes out and the other one comes in, and you're going. And then when Barry came in and he started, he added a running element to what they're doing as well. So whichever one plays is going to be a tough challenge. But I agree with Coach. Our kids are going to be excited, and to play Lamar. It's our last home game for the seniors, and we need to have a good week, and I think we will.
All right, we'll go ahead and open it up for questions now for Coach Viator at McNeese State. Media, you may need to press *6 to unmute your phone line.
Hey, Coach, this is Chris with the Bowman Enterprise.
Hey, Chris.
Two of your losses this year were by 1 point, really, really tight games. And when you look back, how tough was that? Is it to kind of put those losses behind you, knowing how close you were to having a much better record than what you got?
Well, I mean, it's always tough, but you have to put it behind. And in those games, I felt like last week was a 7-point game, but we certainly had a chance there at the end of the game, and that game could have went either way also. But that's just football, and you have to put it behind you. And I thought in the games that we lost by 1 point, we competed well, and it's not like we turned the ball over or gave anybody the game. We just got beat, and it's hard to take, but you have to accept it and move on. And we better get over last Saturday this week, because I know we got a tough challenge ahead of us this week.
You have a lot of Southeast Texans on the roster, Chris Regatte, Ryan Bronson, a couple of them that jump out, Seth Thomas. Can you kind of comment on those and what they brought to the program and in the defensive backfield for you?
Oh, they've been great players for us, and have added a lot to McNeese, obviously. But the Golden Triangle has always been a good area for us. And but when Lamar came in, I was asked, how that would affect us, and obviously it's going to affect us some, because Lamar's doing a great job of getting players. But we're fortunate that I think one of our better recruiting areas, which is one of obviously Lamar's now too, but there's a lot of players in the area, So this wasn't like another team was coming into an area that that there wasn't a lot of players. It's a great recruiting area, and so I think both us and Lamar are benefiting from the great talent in Southeast Texas.
How did losing Malcolm Bronson impact your defense?
Well, it obviously hurt. 3-time first-team All-Conference player, and I think anytime, any of us lose a kid like that, it's going to hurt. But, that's whatever. That was 8 weeks ago, and, we've moved some guys around, and we've played a lot of football since then. So, we certainly haven't used it as an excuse, and we won't this week either.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Matt Viator at McNeese State? All right, Coach. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks.
Coach Conk, are you with us?
Yes, Todd, I'm here.
All right, joined now by Clint Conk, the head coach at Central Arkansas. The Bears coming off an open week, a week after winning the Southland Conference championship and the league's automatic qualifier into the Division I playoffs. Coach, talk about your non-conference game Saturday against Eastern Illinois, a team that cracked the top 25 this week.
Sure. I thought last week was a good week for us. We were able to rest some frontliners from practice and give those guys some extensive work in the weight room and treatment, and just kind of getting away from football. I think they went 3 or 4 days without putting a helmet on after our game against Northwestern State. Gave us an opportunity to recruit, get some coaches out, but also to keep a skeleton group back in and work with our younger players, which I think is a very important aspect of our player development success in our program, that they get fundamental work. And then we brought our frontliners back for 2 practices, and we're able to get some quality work going against each other. This week we came back Sunday night, went to work on Eastern Illinois. They're the Ohio Valley Conference champion, and received the AQ to the Division I playoffs. Very talented football team. Extremely talented on the offensive side of the ball, starting with their quarterback, going for a lot of yards. Offensive line is big, physical. They do a good job of protecting their quarterback. They've got one of, if not the top receiver in the country at our level. He's got 115 catches and about 1,500 yards through 10 games, so there's a challenge. And I think the biggest challenge is their tempo. They are the fastest playing football team that I've seen, and I'm not so sure they're not faster than Oregon. They had 3 games that we broke down where they ran 120 plays or more. and that's going to present quite a challenge for our defense in preparation. Defensively, they're very multiple, 3-down fronts, 4-down fronts, a lot of different blitz concepts, very similar to a couple of teams that we've seen in our league this year, but still very challenging. It's a 5 o'clock kickoff here in Conway, and certainly we want to play well at home, and it's senior day, and an opportunity to honor 16 seniors, 14 of which played the whole year. 2 are out for the season early in the year. And it's a huge game for us to build some momentum, going into the postseason. So two top 25 teams, 2 automatic qualifiers, and ought to be a heck of a game.
We'll go ahead and open it up for questions now for Coach Clint Conk, the head coach at Central Arkansas.
Hello,
Go ahead.
Hello, Coach. This is Brian Nielsen at the Times-Courier newspaper at Charleston, Illinois.
How are you doing?
Being assured of a playoff berth, does it change some preparation for this game, maybe save some players who might be borderline injury or anything else?
Absolutely not. I mean, it's all hands on deck. We're going to game playing the same way, practicing the same way. It's a regular season college football game, and very important game to us for a lot of reasons, and as it is to Eastern Illinois. And as I said, it's all hands on deck, and we're going to do everything we can to prepare the best that we can, and to give ourselves the best chance to win. If I get this right, it's an interconference matchup, intersectional matchup. Of course, we played Eastern 2 years ago, I guess, up in Charleston, and obviously we want to play well. We want to finish the regular season, the right way. So no, that hasn't even entered into our thought process about resting any players.
You talked of their tempo, and you played Murray State that plays a lot like the same way earlier. How similar are they, or, and have you faced other teams with this kind of up-tempo offense?
Yeah, I mean, we started the season with Ole Miss. They're a spread up-tempo team. Of course, Stephen F. Austin in our conference, and then you alluded to Murray State. But I think that Eastern plays a little bit faster than those guys, and we just got to get lined up and read our keys and tackle well in space. And when we get in third down situations, we need to get off the field. And we've done a pretty good job of that all year. So,
other questions for Coach Conk? All right, Coach, appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thanks, Todd.
Coach Pivito, are you with us?
Yes, sir.
All right, joined now by Northwestern State head coach Bradley Dale Pivito. Last week, the Demons lost to Sam Houston State 52-17, and this week travel to take on Stephen F. Austin and Nacogdoches. That game is Saturday at 3 p.m. It's the Toyota Game of the Week on the Southland Conference Television Network. Coach, talk a little bit about your game against the Bearcats and then what you're expecting from SFA on Saturday.
Well, I'd like to start out by, congratulating Willie Fritz and his staff, for having a share of the conference title. I thought they did a great job when you lose early and, win out like they have. I mean, that's hard to do in this league. And congratulations to him and his team and his staff for doing a great job. But, boy, we hit a buzzsaw. I thought we had a great week of practice. I thought we played extremely hard in the game, did a lot of good things, but they're a very, very good football team. And the thing that really got us, as you looked at the play-by-play and at the end of the game, we give up 7 points in the first, third, and fourth quarter, but give up 31 in the second. When you're playing a team like Sam Houston State, you can't do that. We threw a pick six and gave up deep shots, in the back end, and you can't do it. You can't do it and win the game or be in the game. And they're a great football team in all three phases. really hard to find a weak spot on their team, to be honest with you. They do a heck of a job, and they're worthy of their record, and being in the playoffs and everything that they've earned this year. And they made the plays and we didn't. So I tip my hat to Sam Houston State and Willie Fritz. This week you look at Stephen F. Austin. That's always been a big rivalry game. I've actually been on both sides of it. I was over there for 4 years and played Northwestern for the Chief, and I've actually been here. Be my 7th time here to play for it, and it's really a lot of fun getting ready for that. It's a big deal to both teams. It means a lot, and I was thinking about this. In this respect, I played for it for a conference championship. I played for it when I didn't have a win. Played for it to have a win. Played for it in so many different scenarios. But at the end of the day, it's a big deal to have that chief, and it's important. I know the JC kids and our kids, it's very, very important. And you look at Stephen F. They're a heck of a football team. They're a football team that when you watch them play on tape, and then you look at their record, you say, there's no way this is a 4-win team. This can't be right because, they do so many good things. They got so many weapons and very well coached, and we'll have to play very well to be in the game on Saturday. But we're looking forward to it, another Southland Conference TV game, which I think is great for our league, great for recruiting. It's great for all of us, period, and great to play early. So we're looking forward to it.
We'll go ahead and open it up for questions now for Coach Bradley Dale Pivotal at Northwestern State.
Hey, Coach. Jason Pugh at the Times.
Hey, Jason. How are you?
I'm good, Coach. How are you?
Great. Thank you.
You talked about just having played SFA so many times. When you're involved on both sides of the rivalry, kind of two questions. Is it even more special to having been on both sides? And two, how do you keep everyone's emotions in check in a game like this that has so many factors between the rivalry, the last game of the season, and a lot of the seniors you first recruited at Northwestern?
Well, you know what? It's always the last game of the year, so your emotions are always high. And we're all in it for championships. That's the number one goal: win championships. Period. And I think everybody would agree with me on this conference call. But there's so much more to it than that. And you got your seniors, and you get on that bus. You travel for the last time with them, for us anyway. And they're going there, and you just want it. You want to end on a good note, just like JC wants to end on a good note, and both teams want that chief, and it just makes for a neat day. It's always been a great game throughout the years, and very competitive, and it's just a big deal. And each team, like I said, I've been on both sides of it. After the game, we always have a big celebration. You'll see both teams carrying the chief on their shoulders and having chants and just having a lot of fun with it. It's just a big deal. And again, when I was at SFA, it was a big deal. When I've been at Northwestern, it was a big deal. And it's always an emotional day. The last one always is, and to say goodbye to your seniors. We've got 21 of them, and they've been absolutely great and worked their tails off. And it'll be a lot of fun, and just looking forward to playing. And again, playing for a win and playing for the chief.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Hey, Coach Pivotal, it's Kevin Gore.
Hey, Kevin, how you doing?
Doing fine, man. I'm looking at time of possession, Stephen F's last in the league, and I think that's kind of by design based on their offense. And you guys are next to last in the league. Is it a deal? Has that kind of been y'all's problem all year, Coach? It's maybe y'all just failed to sustain stuff on offense, or?
Well, time of possession's huge. It is. You got to look at that every week. And that's one of the battles that's important to win. Because the whole key is to either score fast and get your defense back on the field, or keep the ball, sustain drives, and chew up some of the clock and get points and keep them off the field. That's two very, very crucial things, especially when you're facing, like last week again in the Sam Houston State game, they had the ball right at 39 minutes, and we had it 19. Well, let me tell you, they're too darn good. You're going to get smoked if that happens. And Stephen F's no different. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if that time of possession ain't pretty equal, it can be a long, long day. And and if you look at Stephen F., they're averaging. I looked at it pretty closely. I mean, they're going to average 100 plays a game. They just are. I mean, that's the tempo of their offense. They do a wonderful job with that. And if you three and out a lot, it'll be a long day there Saturday. I mean, you got to find a way to sustain drives, make first downs, and keep the ball and keep it out of their hands. And that's what one of my comments I always say. One of the best defensive calls we can have is stay on the sideline cheering for our offense. So, time of possession very, very crucial in any game.
Now, Coach, you were a special teams coach over here at SFA. I think that's kind of where you got your start in a lot of. I guess so. I remember those days, probably like you do. Just going into this game, Stephen F. had troubles returning kicks and the other day on punts. Is that somewhere you think you guys can make some big plays this week?
Well, we go into every game, no matter who it is, wanting to win the special teams battle and make a difference. And it's always one of our keys to victory, and it will be this week as well. But that's every week. I mean, I think if you look at a lot of football teams, especially in close games, and you end up winning a football game, it's usually because you win the special teams battle, and that's one of our keys to victory each and every week.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Anything else for Coach Pivito? All right. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Coach Fritz, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
Joined now by Sam Houston State head coach Willie Fritz. Last week, the Bearcats beat Northwestern State 52-17, and this week head over to College Station for a game at Texas A&M. That game is Saturday at 2:30 on pay-per-view, FSN pay-per-view. Coach, talk about your win last week and then what you're expecting from a team coming off one of the biggest upsets in the Bowl subdivision.
Well, we played well last week. We've really been playing well the last few weeks. Offensively, Brian Bell, our quarterback, had a sensational game. He's really, I think, that's the area offensively that we've improved the most. This is the best we've played offensively since I've been here, and running the ball effectively and also throwing the ball very effectively. Tim Flanders had another good ball game, put him close to 1,100 yards for the season, and our wide receiver, Trey Diller, probably had his best game, both returning kicks and punts and also catching the ball and blocking on the perimeter. Defensively, we've played very well the last few weeks. Also, when you hold anybody under 200 yards, you're doing a heck of a job, and I think we've done that quite a few times the last few weeks. And then you also are excited when you get an opportunity to play a lot of people. And we got a chance to play a lot of young guys, in the second half and get some game experience for them as well. Much tougher road for us this season. We didn't start off as well as what we liked to have started off, but guys did a good job of keeping that mental focus and being tough mentally week after week after week after week in a tough league and improving, I think, each and every week. Obviously we got our hands full this week. A&M is big, fast, strong, well-coached. Going to be playing with a lot of confidence, being the number one team in the nation at their place. We're going to have to play unbelievably well to be in the ball game. But it's going to be a unbelievable atmosphere for myself and our team, and you always want to challenge yourself, and I guess this is about as big a challenge as we could have, going over to Kyle Field and playing in front of a sold-out stadium and playing against I guess the number 9 team in the nation. So big challenge.
Coach, I neglected to congratulate you for a share of your second consecutive title, so congratulations on that.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. We'll go ahead and open up for questions now for Coach Fritz at Sam Houston State. Media, you may need to press *6 to unmute your phone line.
Hey, Coach Fritz, it's Kevin Gore in Nacogdoches.
Hi, Kevin.
Hey, man, maybe just trying to get an idea how you play this game. I know you're going to go to the playoffs, and you know, competing for a national title and is big for you. So, but then you got this game too. Is it a deal where you just go in with your full roster and say, "Let's get it," or do you kind of make adjustments as the game goes, or how do you approach this one?
I think you just got to go in and play just like you do every other game, you know, and you know, play the very best you possibly can, and you know, I don't know any other way, and I think if you're a competitor, you don't know any other way either.
Kevin, do you have a follow-up?
No, that's it. I appreciate it.
You bet.
Coach, just talk about what this game means to the players and the fan base at Sam Houston.
Well, you know, we're so close. We're, you know, 45, 50 minutes away, and you know, it's, you know, part of being in FCS football as well. I think all the coaches online understand that. But also, you know, I think you know, we really don't have anyone who's recruited by, you know, schools at that level. Some of the transfers we have, you know, obviously they transferred in here because people at that level didn't think they could play where they were at. So, you know, I think it's a you know, motivating factor for our guys to go in and see how they stack up against the best.
Other questions for Coach Fritz at Sam Houston? All right, Coach. Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Coach Roberts, are you with us?
Yes, sir.
All right. Joined now by Southeastern Louisiana head coach Ron Roberts. Last week the Lions beat Stephen F. Austin 42-27. This week play Thursday night at Nicholls State. That game is at 6 o'clock. Coach, talk a little bit about your win last week after two straight losses to get you know, back on track, and then what you're expecting from the Colonels Thursday night.
Okay, that was obviously a huge win for us, just to bounce back after you know, a tough loss at Central Arkansas, which we felt we were in the ball game, and then we got really dominated at Sam Houston. And to bounce back was huge for us, just to really put this program back in the direction we wanted to go. You know, we tuck our tails and we lose in that one, and we're kind of back. I feel like we're really back where we started. Didn't make as much of an improvement as we needed. But getting 4-2 in this conference and a chance to get to 5-2, and that would be the huge part. If we can get to 5-2 and finishing at, you know, second, third spot here in the conference, in the upper echelon of that conference is going to be huge for a first start, just the momentum in the off season and things like that. Big performance all across the board, but I don't know if there's any bigger performance than we did in special teams. Just had, you know, upon return to the house, a kickoff return for a touchdown, converted on a 2-point play, converted a fake punt. Just some big plays in special teams, and real proud of our offense, just how well we ran the football. A big night running the ball, rushed for 280-something, and really felt like that was probably our coming out party. You know, we've been waiting for that thing to click and click and click, and we felt we've really been close, but hadn't really just got over that hump and built it to run the football and do things we wanted from a physical standpoint. But I thought that was a big step forward for us, not just as this football team, but us as a program. And obviously, we turn around in a quick week and, you know, short week, and you got to play Nicholls in a big rivalry game, and, you know, all records are out the door. I know that they haven't had the season they wanted, but I know that they're coming in. You know, they've got to be looking at this as an opportunity to make their season right. So it's a big game for us. We're not going to playoffs. We're not playing for championship. This is our championship. This is our playoffs. This is our bowl game. This is our chance to go out and get 5 wins for the first time ever in this program in the Southland Conference, and that would be huge. There's a lot of things on the table here for us that would really elevate us to going into next season, 2013, being the type of program we want to develop here.
All right, we'll go ahead and open up for questions now for Ron Roberts, the head coach at Southeastern Louisiana. Coach, talk a little bit about, you know, Roberson playing well, but you've got a lot of rushing yards. You have 2 running backs with over 100 yards. Talk about the contributions from such young guys in your program.
Yeah, our two freshmen, they both got 20-some carries, and Rasheed Harrell went for close to 150, and actually had a 60-yard call back. And Roberson, he rushes for over 100 and has a big kickoff return. Those 2 guys are going to be great players. We know that. They kind of been thrust into a role that we weren't really sure. That wasn't the plan at the beginning of the season. Xavier goes to running back about week 3, 4. And Rasheed, we don't even pull his red shirt till week 5. So they're really at the beginning of their careers. They're at the infant stage of it, and we knew they're getting better every week. Every time they carry the ball, every time we practice, they're getting better. And they're going to both be special players, I believe, in this conference. And they just run right now. They're showing right now they can make contributions as freshmen, and they can play with the best of them in this conference right now. And I think they're both going to be special players, and they're both going to do great things for us in the future.
Questions for Ron Roberts? Coach, this is obviously your first River Bell Classic game, but do you get a sense from the people, your players and the people there in the athletic department, what this means?
Yeah, I mean, I think, I know that. I mean, this is a big rivalry, and any rivalry game, I think that's what makes college football so special. So this is I think, going to be a special week for us, and special for our seniors, special for our guys that have been here for a while. And, just a lot of things on the plate. We're playing for River Bell Classic, and that's huge, and it's huge for this region. But it's also a chance for us to sweep really the Southland Conference in state of Louisiana, and if we can do that, that's going to be big for recruiting. So there's a huge part of that on the table as well. The incentive that we need to get this River Bell Classic, we need to get this River Bell Trophy, and finish this season on a great note.
Anything else today for Ron Roberts at Southeastern? All right, Coach, appreciate your time. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
JC, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, joined now by J.C. Harper, the head coach at Stephen F. Austin. The Lumberjacks lost to Southeastern Louisiana last week, 42-27, and this week play host to Northwestern State in the Toyota Game of the Week on the Southland Conference Television Network. That game is Saturday at 3 o'clock. Coach, talk about the game last week and then what you're expecting from the Demons on Saturday.
Okay. Southeastern played one heck of a football game, very physical. Obviously, ran the football very well, exactly what Coach was saying. His running backs played tremendously well. Kickoff return for a touchdown, punt return for a touchdown, a fake punt, all executed very well. His team played tremendously well, and we didn't play as well in all phases. Very, very happy with Gus Johnson's performance. Played tremendous, played very hard. For us to rush 210 yards in a ball game is really, really good. Both him and Doug Gentry did a heck of a job, and obviously when you're rushing like that, the offensive line played tremendously well. I was very happy with the offensive line and how they played, and so those guys were obviously a highlight to our loss. But we got beaten by a better football team than we were, and we got to move on, and we're excited about coming home. We've played tremendously well at home in the last 3 years, and so we're excited to play home and obviously to play for the Chief. It's a great game. It's a great rivalry. Enjoy playing it each and every year. We look forward to it, the last game of the year, and it'll be our senior night as the last game is for these seniors, and we got quite a few really good ones that we're excited about them playing their last home game here, and looking forward to playing Northwestern, who's, to me, playing tremendously hard, very well coached. There are a lot of good things that you see that they play very hard, and I mean we're going to have to really play one of our best games, and we haven't really played air-free, and so it'd be nice if we could play that way this weekend and in our last home game at home.
All right, we'll go ahead and open it up for questions now for J.C. Harper, the head coach at Stephen F. Austin.
Hey, Coach, it's Kevin.
Hey, Kevin.
Maybe just comment on your seniors. You talked about them, but a couple in particular, Roberson, Epperson, Jefferson. A lot of those guys, were part of title teams, and I know things didn't go well like you wanted this year, but you're this bunch of seniors that you're losing. I don't know if you have a whole lot of seniors, but you're losing some guys that were big for the program.
Well, I mean, offensively, Jeremy Barnes, at running back, I think has had a tremendous year and going to be a great. He's going to get his degree and very happy for what he's done here at our program. Obviously, Cordell Roberson has, if he plays this weekend and has a great game, he has chances to be the Southland Conference leading reception leader ever. And so, obviously, he's done a great job for us. Ryan Gamble, who walked on and we put on scholarship, has been a great leader for us and is obviously a starter for us now and a very tough, hard-nosed, good player. Corey Dickerson, a senior for us, as a starting offense. I mean, he's a starting tackle for us back when we won championships and was an all-conference player at one time in his career. And then, of course, John Steele, I would believe it's probably his 46th start on the offensive line, and obviously, when you play that many experience, he's a tough guy to replace. And then Austin Wright at the offensive line as well, who overcame an injury, during the when we were going to the playoffs and winning championships, came back and played. And defensively, Willie Jefferson, who's made a big impact in our program. Chris Watson, the defensive tackle, has made an impact on our program. Ryan Epperson at Mike linebacker has been playing quite a long time. Cedric Barlow, who's a starter, and Josh and Jordan Aubrey are both starters, one at corner, one at safety, who have both been tremendous help for us. Isaiah Perry, who's a starter at safety for us, Andre Agri, and Ronnie Hickman. All of those guys are seniors, and we'll miss them all. And we hope they all play tremendous on Saturday night.
Thank you, Coach.
You're welcome.
Anything else for Coach Harper?
Yeah, hey, Coach, this is John Lenz down here in Hammond.
Sure.
Hey, just go back to Saturday's game. Sorry, I apologize, but Southeastern really kind of seemed like they dared you to run the football, and boy, you did a great job of running the football. But what were they doing in the back end that kind of a little bit different from what you guys normally do? What was going on, and how they were defensing you, and maybe made you run the football?
Well, I mean, they played with a what we call an odd box, which is 3 linemen and 2 linebackers, so it's a 5-man box, and then they played cover 2 behind it. With 2 safeties high, and then they basically manned up across the board and played some 2 high with that, with a man concept we call 2-man sometimes, and then I guess as the game went on, if we run sometimes they would play some man free and roll down and put one more guy in the box so that we just try to stop the run, and so. We have no problem whatsoever running the football and have a problem with 5 guys. And our 5 should be able to block 5, and we hope that we win. But at times, number 51, their linebacker, I thought played tremendous. He played very high motion and played game hard, and I'm sure they're very happy with his performance. He did a good job at times of making it really hard for us to block 5. And I assume that's why they probably did that, because they had the ability, for him to make plays sometimes. And then, of course, when they put the 2 high principles in there, they were making it hard for us to throw the football.
We talked about it last week, and you knew it was coming. You knew you were going to get their best effort, and you certainly did, didn't you?
I tell you, they played tremendously hard. I mean, Coach Roberts and his staff did a tremendous job of getting them to play hard. Obviously, they're seniors as well, being at senior night. And I don't think it's anything that's a mystery. I mean, the game last year here at home was
a hard-fought ball game that we won at the end, but because we fought hard. And they were on the 15-yard line, I believe. We had to stop them on fourth down to win the game. And so, they got very talented football players. That's a very talented football team. And, their corners are tremendous football players. Their safeties are tremendous football players. And their defense plays very, very hard. And then, obviously, their offense did a great job of running the football and blocking us. And I was very impressed with their performance and the way they played. And probably more than anything, just the way they finished. The fourth quarter for them was big. I thought we had a chance, even giving up a punt return and giving up a kickoff return, which typically when you do that, you're going to have a hard time winning. But I thought we really put ourselves in a chance to win when we went up 27-20. But heck, they responded back and ran it right down our throat.
Thanks, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Anything else for Coach Harper? All right, Coach, appreciate your time. Thank you.
Yeah, have a great day.
You too. I want to remind everyone that the selection show for the NCAA Division I football championship will be on ESPNU Sunday at 12:30 p.m. Central Time. There they'll unveil the 20-team bracket for the playoffs. So tune in then to find out where the Southland Conference designees will be sent or who will be visiting one of our programs in the first or second round of the playoffs. Hope to see everyone here January the 5th for the national championship game here at FC Dallas Stadium in Frisco. I suspect that while we don't have any more weekly calls scheduled, I do suspect that we will make playoff coaches available, but we'll communicate that on down the road. So until then, thanks for your help, and we'll talk to everyone again soon.